Hi, I'm Kristen,
And I'm Sadie.
and this is Warts.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And today, I was just gonna talk. I was just gonna like get real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's get real.
just get real. So I don't know. I was just like really okay. Let me just start off by saying I don't think that they watch our streams to see if we actually cuss in them. So I want to cuss.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was really fucking depressed,
Mm-hmm.
like really bad. Probably the worst I've been in a really long time. And this, like during the break, it got to like a really bad spot. And I was like ready for it to just like keep going. I was ready for it to just be like sad all the time. But I don't know if they're gonna watch this, but if Anna's watching, just talking to me and just being there helped me realize that other people do care and that I don't have to be sad. You know, you just need that. You need somebody else to just be there sometimes. And you were in there in the right place at the right time, and I'm really, really appreciative for that. Yeah, I was just ready to keep being sad because I remember I didn't wear makeup. I didn't wear eye makeup that day because I was crying while I was putting on makeup. I was like, I can't wear eyeliner today. It'll just like fall right off. And then I had a really great day. We made a good friend. At least I hope we're friends. I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets.
You can go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. If you want to have something to
No,
say.
I was just gonna say like how easy it is to just like be comfortable in your sadness. Like a part of you wants to like get out of it, and you like some days you're like so sick of the feeling that you're like I'm done. Like I need to make a change, but it's so easy to fall back and be like this is what I know. Like this is what I'm comfortable with right now, and it takes effort, so much effort to just like pull yourself out of that place, but it can be like right in front of you and you just like don't even know how to grab like your happiness. So I totally understand like the just like being prepared to just be sad for a while because you don't really know how to get out of it.
And it was so bad. Like it felt like it was never gonna end, and no one could ever help me get out of it. And it was just like my life. I was so far gone that like I wasn't there anymore. Like it wasn't my personality. I wasn't myself, and it was heartbreaking to me just to be like I'm nothing now. All I am is sad.
Yeah.
And it hurt so fucking bad. But I'm doing a lot better, and I feel like it happened really fast, and I was just like honest with other people, and that it made it easier to be honest with myself, and because I was doing it to myself, it wasn't anyone's fault. I think that I was just really scared when I first got here.
Yeah.
And that turned into me not putting myself out there, and then it just turned into like despair.
Yeah.
And like actual terrifying sadness.
Yeah.
And it just gets worse and worse until you hit a breaking point. And I hit my breaking point, and I decided I don't want to be sad anymore. So I'm not going to be sad anymore. And I mean, it doesn't work that way. Anyone who's ever had like depression, you know it doesn't work that way. You have good days and bad days, and I might just be having like some exceptionally good days, but I don't want to like ever get that bad again because it was really bad.
Yeah. And the fact that you can even like address that, you know, like be like that was really bad.
Yeah.
Like I can't get to that point again. Like or I need to be actively trying to stay away from that point and like to because when you're in it, it's very easy to like not even realize the severity of what you're feeling. And then when you're out of it, you're like, wow, that was awful. Yeah. And I was just dealing with it.
I almost called the suicide like hotline a couple times. I really did.
Wow.
And I was just like, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I don't need to. And looking back, it was that bad.
Yeah.
And I needed to.
Yeah.
And I wish I had done it. But you don't, I downplay everything anyways. So like nothing matters to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you just gotta realize this isn't you. And it sucked. And I just want to be real about it.
Yeah, and
because there's other people that 100% feel that way.
Exactly. I think that's like the hardest part of having like any sort of mental health issue at all, or even just being a human being and who feels emotions. It's very easy to like isolate yourself in your feelings and feel like no one else could possibly feel the way I'm feeling right now or understand how I'm feeling right now because you're constantly in your mind. No one else is. It's you in your mind. And, you know, you have that entity or whatever that is like screaming at you, and then you have another part that's telling you one thing, and then it just anxiety,
Yeah.
you know. So I think as soon as you start to like convince yourself, you know what, there are other people who feel the way I'm feeling, there are other people who have the same, you know, fears that I have, you know. Like for me, one of like the biggest anxiety inducers is debt. It makes me like I'm gonna say trigger lightly because it's not like something I've been diagnosed with or but it definitely sets my anxiety off immediately. It's one of those things where I can't start talking about it without actually like panicking. My heart races, I have nightmares about it. Like it really like kind of haunts me because of my year off of school, and then having medical debt. Like debt in general was something that kind of smacked me in the face really intensely, in a way that not a lot of other people. Like I was still technically in college when debt hit me, so it was weird because even if you're enrolled, well, no, that's not true. I wasn't enrolled, so I was switching colleges. But you have 6 months. That's it. You have 6 months, and then you have to start paying. And I didn't realize this because I was recovering from surgery, so I wasn't really thinking about debt. And then as soon as it came, full-blown panic because I'm making money. I'm making disability money, and that's going right to medical bills. And yeah, it was just an experience that like made me so fearful of even going back to school and even questioning like, should I go back to school, and especially a private school. And you know, it surprisingly, it took my family convincing me that I'm doing the right thing by going here, because I got accepted to FIT also, but their program for what I was interested in wasn't as well known, or it's like you go on as a 2-year and then you apply to be a 4-year. And yes, it's cheaper, but living there is still about
Where's that
the
at?
same. FIT, it's really close to Madison Square.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a SUNY. It's a state school, but kind of forgetting why I went off on this tangent, but basically realizing that I'm not the only person who has debt and who feels anxiety from debt was something that was like, I know, I'm sorry to bring it up.
No. Feel free.
I feel like more people that are our age or in college need to talk about it.
Yes.
Because we ignore it. And in a way, I look back at my situation as like, you know what, I'm really glad I experienced the panic, the sheer panic of not having enough money to pay off my debt because I was literally not working because I just had surgery. And, you know, it was basically like if I didn't have family who cared, I wouldn't have a home because I wouldn't be able to do anything. Like all of my money, and it wasn't a lot. It's the way that my disability worked was you get a percentage of what you normally make, quote unquote. And when you work retail, your hours fluctuate all the time. I was technically full time, but 1 hour I'd work 35. 1 hour, one week I'd work 35 hours, another I'd work 40. Plus, like you don't know. And it's minimum wage.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just I think realizing that even like transitioning into a quote unquote adulthood, you know, I say that loosely because I feel like everybody deals with adult things at different times in their life. And, you know, I just, like I was saying at the beginning of this whole, like, sort of tangent I went off of, it's just, like, understanding that you aren't the only one in the world who's dealing with it. That was something that kind of helped me when, like, that still helps me. It doesn't make it easier, you know, like, being in a situation or having a trigger at all that, like, really sets you off and makes you, like, panic. Like I can't like have adult conversations about it without starting to like really freak out. And I'm working on it because it's a reality that I have that everybody, I'm gonna guess everybody here has some sort of debt.
I don't think you can even get a full ride here. I'm pretty sure you can. There's only like certain scholarships you can get through each major, and I don't think it can surpass a certain amount.
And the
Unless they're
reason
like really
I came here
rich.
was because I received a scholarship, and I'm paying for my student loans, so I really had to take into consideration what am I going to be able to like handle, because it's everybody has a different situation, and if your parents are paying for you, that is amazing. Be so thankful and grateful, and that's awesome and wonderful. But everybody deals with it differently. Some people have this, some people don't have that. Some people have their parents help them. Some people don't have their parents help them. But I think understanding that not everybody, but a lot of people around me have to deal with even the concept of debt was something comforting. So I think with any situation, anything, looking at it in a perspective where you're like, okay, there's somebody who has felt this feeling before, and I'm going to assume have made it out of it. Or if they haven't, what can I do to make it out of it? And but it's hard. It's a whole perspective shift.
And when you're severely depressed, your brain doesn't even work right. My sad brain was telling me nobody wants to be around me. I'm awful. And it just made it easier for me to be like, that's why I have no friends, because nobody wants to be around me. And that wasn't true. I don't have friends because I didn't talk to anyone. And that's why I didn't want to accept that it was my fault, I guess. But yeah, it really fucking sucked. And I'm glad I feel better. And keep going. And lots of people have felt that way.
Yeah.
Even on minute levels, people feel that way every day. And it's just nice knowing that you can feel better.
Yeah, of course. Or even thinking back to times where you were super, super happy. I always go to memories where I have traveled and felt that oh my god, I'm in a new place and it's beautiful and wonderful and oh, this is awesome. Understanding that I could potentially feel that way again in my life. That is something that really kind of helps me personally keep going, is the satisfaction in knowing that what I do can possibly get me to that place, or maybe I could feel that for a month straight or a year straight according to how my life goes. There is this super, super famous quote. I'm not sure where it came from or where it originated from, but it's basically saying suicide is eliminating every single chance for it to get better. And I think that is, God, so true. And man, in my lowest moments, I think to my happiest moments and think man, if I wasn't here, I wouldn't have ever gotten to experience that. And that's something that I think a lot of people don't think about when you're sad, because you just think it's so, you basically think it's impossible.
I feel normal right now, and if you would have told me that I would feel this way 3 days ago, I would never believe you.
Yeah.
Never. Not in my life. It's so hard, and it really is hard to remember how it is to be normal. Yeah. And I was doing this thing where I was just trying to suppress all my emotions, and I've done that for a really long time. Even when I first met you, I didn't really laugh at things out loud. I wasn't man, I love that. That's a great outfit. I just wouldn't say anything. And that got to me the most, I think. I was just denying myself being myself. Yeah, and I'm in a good place now. I love it.
That's so good. And the fact that everybody can be in a good place again. You really can. I think so.
I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah. And if I don't know, nobody really watches this podcast, but if anybody's watching this and feels it's really sad, you can always email me. My email is kdossett@sva.edu. DOSSETT. There you go. Email me, and I'll be there for you. I'm the type of person that will stop everything to help somebody.
Yeah.
I don't like when things go wrong for other people. I will I'll stop the whole world.
Yeah.
I'll move a mountain for you. Just email me.
When I hurt my foot, this was the second day I knew her. I met her the night before. I wasn't having a very good move here. It was kind of hard at the beginning of moving here and everything. I was struggling, and then I sprained my foot, and I was terrified, and I didn't have a Metro card of going by myself because I had a hurt foot to the doctor. So I somehow managed the courage and swallowed all of the pride I had and was like, hey, I know I just met you, but could you please come to the doctor with me? And
of course.
She was like, yeah? What kind of question is that? Of course. And
of course I would. Why would you even ask?
I know.
I was already planning on doing it.
Yeah. And afterwards, my mom was worried about me, and she was like, "Did you like find anybody to go with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, remember I was telling you I met Kristen and da da da." She was like, "That's someone you gotta keep around."
Aww,
and I was like,
thank
"Thanks,
you, Mom.
yeah.
Thank your mom for me. I love her. I don't know. I just feel bad when other people like things aren't going well because
Yeah.
like I know what it's like.
Yeah, that's it's having empathy for other humans is surprisingly hard to find nowadays.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I have too much sometimes.
Like not for me. I mean, like in other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Finding people who are actually empathetic towards like not even like just their immediate circle, but like the world. But it's hard. It's hard to be empathetic because it brings sadness.
When people take advantage of you, it does. Like
Yes.
I am empathetic to like a fault.
Yeah.
Like I will do things for people who don't deserve it.
Absolutely.
But like it makes me feel okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kind of makes me think of there have been situations in my life, and like I know other people's lives who they are close to or surrounded by somebody who's dealing with depression or just some sort of mental illness, and like the effect that has on them too. And I truly believe that if you need to take a break from somebody, it's not selfish. You are protecting your own mind. And I also think that that's important to say. Like, if you are somebody who is there for somebody who is struggling, that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your mental health for somebody else's mental health.
And I really didn't want to talk about it with anyone for a long time because I didn't want to be like a leech.
Yeah.
And it was just really hard, and I just wanted to keep it to myself.
Yeah.
And it just like came out. Like one time I accidentally started crying while trying to talk to my teacher.
Yeah.
Or I was out crying in the hallway, and like my RA saw me. Not my RA, my TA.
Yeah.
It's just hard because I didn't want to be like, I need help and I need your help.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want that from other people. I don't want them to sacrifice anything for me. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, but like when I say, if somebody is like hurting you from their problems, like
that's like completely different. I know. I went off on a tangent.
I don't want people to think like
no.
Oh, my friend's sad. Like screw them. Like no, don't do that. But I just think there have been situations where somebody has like guilted you with it or made you feel like
they use it as a weapon.
Yes, and that sometimes broken people or hurt people will push the people that they care about away or like really test them, and it's what I'm saying is just protect yourself too, but that doesn't like bottom line, if you are having a hard time, you should talk to somebody like no matter what. And I guarantee like your professor, I know me, like people are not bothered. They feel better knowing that you came to them because the thought of you like dealing with that by yourself is upsetting. That's what I think is the most upsetting. But when somebody is becoming toxic for you because they have issues that a professional or somebody else that's more well equipped can handle, I just think it's important to remember that like we're not certified therapists.
No.
But having somebody who's like, you know what, I may not know what to say, but I'm here for you. Like if you need just to vent and someone to listen, like that is so meaningful. And I often would get frustrated not knowing like the right things to say or not having the answers, but I came to realize, like for me anyway, like even knowing that somebody cares enough to like listen to me complain or listen to me be upset, that is so meaningful when you're sad.
Yeah, it really is. Because when you're sad and you're alone, you really get in your own head and you can't get out. Yeah, and like I didn't just build walls; I built like an entire maze. It took me a long time to like warm up to you. It takes me a long time to warm up to anybody. Like I'm super awkward.
Yeah.
And I'm just like trying to like break them down one brick at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to not overwhelm you.
Because I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I just felt like you were shy and reserved, which isn't a bad thing. I wanted a friend too.
Yeah.
And that's why I started like talking to you that night, was because I was feeling the same way that I felt like I had no friends. I felt alone. I didn't know what to do. I was like totally out of it. I missed like half of orientation week because I hurt my foot. Like I would wake up and be in like full panic. like waking up
Aw.
in a panic. Like I would call my mom being like, this feels like I'm in a nightmare, but it's like real life. Like I'm awake, but I have like the emotional and physical reaction like I'm in a nightmare.
Mhm.
And then I would basically like force myself to sleep because I just didn't want to be awake during like the week when I was here. I didn't want to leave my room. Like I was so like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Um, it kind of hit me moving day when I knew that my boyfriend and his parents helped me move in. When they were about to leave, I was like, oh my god, they're actually leaving me here alone. Like I'm gonna be here by myself, and
Oh.
that was like, oh my god. But so I was like desperate to
Mhm.
like have anybody to talk to or even like make a friend because it's hard.
It
It
really
doesn't
is.
get any easier. Even getting older, I thought it'd be easier than high school, but it's the same.
Oh, it's
Right now.
harder than high school
Yeah,
because you're not forced to be around these people all the time.
exactly.
You actually have to like try.
And make an effort,
Mhm.
and it's really hard, but it's so worth it. It really is. Like even if the friendship doesn't work out, like I was I know like when I talked to you that night I was like I cannot believe I did that. Like that's not me. And when I told my mom like I started a conversation with a complete stranger and it went well, she was like, "See? See?" I was like, it was still really scary and she may think I'm crazy because like I was just trying to start a conversation, but I think as soon as it
No,
started it kind of just
it just happened.
happened.
I honestly can get along with pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
I've convinced myself that I was really introverted and like it's not true. I'm just kind of shy and like it's hard for me to warm up to people.
You're an
But
introverted extrovert.
I'm really extroverted sometimes. Like sometimes I just want to talk to people. I love being around other people and I love just like being with somebody else. But yeah, I was like forced to be by myself for so long. That's what made me feel more comfortable. But I'm done with that.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I'm sure it's nice to see me like happy for once. But yeah, it's nice to be happy. Or at least to feel happy just for like a minute.
Yes, it is.
It's very nice.
Yes, it is.
It really does get better.
Yes, it does.
Very
like,
cheesy, and it doesn't feel like it. And I know anybody that's like actually really depressed right now, they don't believe me
Yeah,
because I was there. But it's true.
it does get better.
It does.
It does.
You have to want to get better though.
It's true.
You have to come to that conclusion yourself.
Yep.
You have to finally be done with it. And sometimes you need a little push from somebody else. Or you just need somebody to be there at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think there are people who have different opinions on this, but I used to let like anything bad that happened like in life that was not really something in my control. I used to let completely like control my emotions, and I still struggle with it a little bit. And you know, like they say, like when bad things happen, it's not just one; it's like a pile of bad things. It's a stream of them, and it can be for months at a time. But I kind of realized, like, as soon as I surrendered to life a little bit and realized that there are going to be things that happen that are just going to happen. Yeah. They're not in my control. I mean, it made me cope with life a little bit better. And, like, this is also cheesy, but realizing, like, you really can be here one day and then gone the next, or the people you care about, makes you so thankful and feel so much more grateful for, like, every moment that we have here. I think as soon as you start to treat life as like a gift and as something that you surrender to a little bit, it makes it easier to cope with. When I would try to control everything, my future, this da da da. We're trying to calculate everything, and it's exhausting.
I feel like I was doing the complete opposite. I was just letting life like happen around me and not putting myself inside of
balance. It. Yeah,
I wasn't grounded like at all.
Yeah, I think like I was controlling too much, so anytime something that I didn't plan happened, I would lose my mind. Whereas like in your situation, when you're not grounded at all, you're being controlled by things that you shouldn't be fully controlled by.
Everything starts to get to you when you're like that. Everything upsets you. Like the way somebody shifts their foot next to you in class, you're like, can you not? Like you actually get upset by very small things, and
it lingers.
It lingers and it builds up like a lot, and it makes you feel even worse because not only are you sad, now you're making yourself angry to feel anything other than being sad.
Yeah.
It sucks. God, it sucks so bad. But like honestly, it does get better. I'm just gonna keep repeating that. It gets better.
No, it really, really, really does. It really does. Like
you just gotta like take life by the balls.
Yes.
Squeeze them as hard as you fucking
like,
can.
You know, when I say like you should surrender a little bit, what I mean by that is, like, understand that there are things that are inevitably going to happen that are completely out of your control, but that doesn't mean you have to be destroyed by them.
Yeah.
You can be like, you know what, this event or situation happened that wasn't in my control, and I get that, but I'm going to control how I react to that situation. That's, like, the balance, you know?
And if anybody else is, like, they feel the same, I'll take my example, like, oh, I have no friends. Well, why don't I have friends? Oh, nobody likes me. Why does nobody like you? It's because you don't talk to them.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have friends. It's because you're acting like they're not there, so you can feel better about not having friends. It's really, often comes down to something that you yourself have done or haven't done.
Yeah.
And, like, once you realize what that is, you can break out of it. Like,
Yeah.
I realize I can ask somebody if they want to go eat.
Yeah.
I can talk to somebody if they're just sitting there. And, yeah, maybe I'm bothering them, but I might not be bothering them in another time.
Or you may be making their day.
Yeah.
You know? They may have been sitting in their room alone all day, had nothing to do, and wow, now I have a reason to go out. You know? Like, I think it's all about shifting perspective.
100% is. I don't know what happened, but my perspective literally just got, like, punched into another universe.
So good. You know?
It feels really great.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I feel really great.
It's awesome.
Yes. And I'm excited to be happy.
Yeah, and speaking of, you know, happiness and stuff, hopefully with the podcast moving forward, we're going to try and be more positive because we're trying to continue this thought process. You know, of course, we'll probably complain.
Yeah.
And have days where we're like, okay, this is garbage.
We are human.
Of course, but
not everything is like rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah, but I think the, like, aesthetic and
I like that aesthetic.
the vibe of the podcast will probably be a little more positive.
Hopefully. Well, next semester we're gonna change it, right?
Yeah, we're probably gonna change.
Because, like, nobody can say worry warts for one.
Yeah, we're probably gonna change that. And you know what? We're taking control. We're not worrying about nothing.
We're taking control of our life and what we do.
Yes. Yes.
We have 30 more minutes.
Oh my god.
What did we talk about? Oh, Anna, she was like, you can talk about, like, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I don't really believe in those, but if you got any.
Oh god, you know, like, I'm kind of on the same side as you. Like, I don't really believe in many of them, but even just, like, thinking about
it's
them.
cool to think about, but, like, they're all bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Other than, like, a couple, but, yeah.
Is it called the Mandela effect?
Yeah.
That is one that messes me up.
I remember when I first learned about, like, the Berenstain versus Berenstein Bears.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I remember it with an E.
It's Berenstein, right?
It's the Berenstain Bears. It's got an A in it.
I thought it was Berenstein.
I did too. And I read those books growing up. I watched the show. Like, I remember it as Berenstein.
This one probably messed me up the most. You know Kit Kats?
Do
they have a dash between the kit and the cat?
Well, that's kind of a seeded question because, like, I do know that they do. But, like, I don't think of it with they don't?
Look it up. Are you
serious?
Look it up. I'm not kidding. This is the one that messed me up
Wait,
the most.
I thought they had, like, a little dash.
Yeah. Look it up. Look up Kit Kat. There's no dash.
Are you kidding me? I was like...
I'm not kidding.
There's no dash
There's
between
no dash.
Kit Kat. Oh my god.
That's
also,
the one where I was really freaked out.
You can buy a 25-pound unwrapped bulk bars for $104.
Honestly?
I don't even like Kit Kats. But yeah, oh my god.
That one messed me up the most when I was
that did mess me up because I was remembering it with a dash.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I've heard that one before.
You're like, obviously it has a dash. I'm like,
whoa.
Which is, oh man, like that one messed me up. God, there's like a few other ones, but I can't. Oh, that show, Sex in the City. I guess it's Sex and the City. But
yeah,
I always thought it was Sex in the City.
It's Sex and the City. I've always known that one.
I thought it was Sex in.
It's easier to say that. I think that's why people remember it that way.
Man, I'm trying to think of any other conspiracy theory.
I don't know. I don't really, like, actively. I've seen a couple
the moon landing. Where they think that was fake.
Honestly, I think my dad thinks the moon landing was fake.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't. I've seen that episode of Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah.
Like, it was physically impossible to fake the moon landing.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm not well versed in the conspiracy world.
Me neither.
There are some really freaky ones. reptile people, reptilian people.
Sneeple? You've seen Steven Universe, right?
Yes.
I can remember. Are you talking about the Sneeple?
Oh man.
Dang.
What is his name?
Ronaldo.
Yes. We need to channel him right now.
Channel Ronaldo. God, no. Get him away from me. Do you remember the episode Rocknaldo? I was so mad about that. Because they were like, look at this bloodstone. And like, we all knew what they were doing. We're like, this isn't, stop trying.
Yeah.
But like, they were trying so hard to make us think that there was going to be like a new gem. Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know any.
Conspiracy theories. There's a ton.
There's a ton, but like my brain doesn't have any.
Because I really don't keep up on them.
I've seen like some of the Shane Dawson videos, but
too.
like I don't like watching him very much because like sometimes I just can't get in it.
It's for entertainment purposes, you know.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't like research them very well. It brings me out of it.
It is very much like I'm gonna watch this for entertainment, not like I really want to know about this conspiracy theory.
These very serious conspiracy theories. Hey, what's up, you guys?
I know.
So today we're gonna be talking about conspiracy theories. I think he talked about one like from the Rugrats, how they were all dead or something, or like Angelica killed. I don't know. That sounds like a creepypasta.
What?
Yeah, there's some weird ones.
Yeah.
I don't know any.
Oh, have you heard the there's an ancestry conspiracy theory?
Ancestry.
Yeah, like
Ancestry.com
Yeah.
or like 23andMe.
Yes.
I did 23andMe for anyone who didn't know. I'm white, by the way.
Or that. That's one of those things where you can like figure out your ancestors through your DNA. There's a conspiracy that Google is keeping all of your like DNA, so like later they can try and sell you like
stuff based
like
off your
basically
DNA.
to like make you look like you're when you did it, to like reverse your age, because they have your DNA. So they're saying that there's like possible scientific stuff that can I am like, wow, I sound so educated right now. But there's like basically they're gonna save your DNA from when you were a younger person to like eventually be like, hey, you want to look like this again? We have your DNA, so we can like do this to you.
I don't think that you can do that based off DNA because it's like there's chances of things happening.
Yeah,
it's not like specific. Because I'm opening up my 23andMe right now. I have an app.
Could they really make a clone of you from just like your spit?
It will be slightly different. Your clone won't look exactly like you. Have you seen clones of like dogs and stuff?
I've only seen is it a lamb or a goat?
Dolly the sheep.
I think
so.
about
that one? Sometimes when you like clone mares, like horses, that happens a lot. Their patterns will be slightly different.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes it's random.
That's so bizarre.
Because especially with cats, you know how they can be tortoiseshell cats? That will specifically happen with them because they have 2 X chromosomes with 2 different coat colors. And coat color is held on the X chromosome for cats. So if there's a female cat with 2 X and one's like, you're going to have orange fur, and the other one's like, no, you're going to have black fur.
Yeah.
The cells actually fight with each other when it's like a zygote and it's like becoming like a fetus. They'll fight with each other, the X, to see which one is dominant. And wherever it's like wherever it's orange, like in their fur, that's where, say their mom was the orange one. Yeah. That's where the mom's X chromosome won and the dad's lost. Wild. And where it's black is where the dad's chromosome won.
That's so interesting.
Isn't that weird? So if you clone a tortoiseshell cat, they'll look completely different.
Yeah. It is weird to think, because in the conspiracy, I think Shane talked about this. This is where I'm thinking of it, but in the conspiracy, I believe he said, like I said, this is not accurate information at all. I'm spewing what I remember from a YouTube video, but like that they did confirm that they hold on to all the DNA that they get.
Yeah, they do.
Which is weird, but it makes sense, I guess. But what are they doing with it? Are they just saving it?
I don't know. I think they're using it more for
like science
purposes. What is crazy though is that I'm like less white than I thought. Like looking at my map, you get to see like where you're from. Yeah. Mine has almost like every continent except for Australia. Mine is really cool. I didn't know I was 0.6% South Asian on my dad's side. I'm 0.8% Nigerian.
Yeah.
I mean, these are I don't think they're very specific. I think it's kind of bullshit at some point. but that's crazy.
Yeah, they're kind of guesstimating.
Like almost a full % Nigerian.
I saw this meme, and this I don't know why this is making me think about it, but that was astrology is basically racism for white girls, and I was like, wow, I'm offended. Is that not? Is your mind blown right now?
They didn't see. Nobody saw this except for you, but my jaw like dropped when you said that. I had a physical reaction to that.
Is that not like the truest thing I've ever heard?
Oh my god.
Like, I'm obviously superior because I'm Sagittarius, or like, I fucking hate Scorpios, blah, 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 blah.
I'm a Pisces, and nobody really hates Pisces.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, wow, they're so mystic.
Yeah.
But I am a rising ascendant Gemini. Listen, I'm not really into, astrology, but I do know it. We had an episode on this. Oh, we should probably address this. We privated all our videos.
Yes, we did. We're starting fresh.
Yeah. Okay?
And you know what? If the first video we have is talking about how mental health is something that should be talked about and that it does get better, then that is an episode to start on.
Yeah, this is a much better start. I'm not trying to be a sad bitch anymore. I'm trying to be a bad bitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That is the motto for life.
Don't be a sad bitch. Be a bad bitch.
Be a bad bitch. Yes, I love that. That's great.
My God. I was looking at, the trait report on 23andMe is the one that's most, wow. Because almost all of mine are completely wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Ability to match musical pitch, about a 50-50 chance. It used to say I was less likely to be able to match one. I was in band, I sang, and I play instruments. I know how to match pitch. Maybe I'm an outlier, but
I don't understand traits like that to begin with because that's taught. You even if you start a little lower level than somebody else starts, we are all capable of getting to a certain
degree. You can learn
degree.
to do that.
That's I don't understand how your DNA can be you know what? Nah, not for you.
Not for you, bitch. Cheek dimples, likely no dimples. I do have really tiny ones when I smile. They're not deep, but they're pretty shallow. But I do have little dimples. I've never had cilantro, so I don't know if I taste it as soap.
That's a thing. I love cilantro. I guess
some people taste it as soap.
That's interesting.
Likely no cleft chin. Okay, I don't have a cleft chin. Some of these are right. Likely detached earlobes. I do have detached earlobes. Eye color, likely blue or green. I got blue eyes. I'm less likely than average to be afraid of heights.
What?
I'm not afraid of heights.
Does it tell you at all what their reasoning for believing that is?
It shows you how much of your DNA proves this right and how much proves it wrong, because it is a balance. How we got your results.
We're researching DNA to begin with.
See,
at one point were they this obviously means that they are afraid of heights.
They put me on a graph showing the average.
I just what I can't seem to comprehend is how can DNA be you hate heights?
I don't know. Isn't that crazy?
What is it
Yeah, it'll tell me what my percentage of having each color of eyes. I have 52% chance of having blue eyes.
That I can understand. Eye color,
it's a percent chance,
I can understand. I just really don't understand how can your DNA dictate your fear of heights? That I'm a little shook by that right now. And your musical pitch.
Wow. Oh my god. People with similar DNA to mine, 48% have lots of freckles. I do freckle, but I don't have a ton because I don't ever go outside. But I have lots of freckles and moles if I go. I have lots of moles.
Yeah, I have lots of.
I have tons of them.
I just have a moly.
I got one on my forehead that I don't go outside, so it's turned skin color and it just looks like a pimple. Hair photo bleaching, more likely to experience hair photo bleaching. If you go outside in the sun,
and
your hair will lighten. I don't really remember. I don't go outside. My hair texture is likely straight or wavy.
You have wavy, right?
I do have wavy hair. It's pretty wavy though.
It's
giant curls.
It's very wavy. Yeah, I was gonna say it's on the verge of curly.
It's if it didn't weigh itself down, it would curl.
Yeah.
But it says 14% have straight hair. Crazy.
That is crazy.
The one that gets me the most. Get this. Oh, they don't have it anymore. Light or dark hair. Guess what mine was? Likely light. I was most likely to have blonde hair. You guys can't see me, but I have dark brown hair. Dark brown. It's not black or anything, but it's specifically dark brown.
Yeah.
Like, what? I was most likely to have blonde hair. I had black hair when I was born.
Same.
It says I have less than 1% chance of having black hair.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. It's crazy. Oh, and newborn hair. I was born with the most hair anyone in the pediatric ward had ever seen. I had enough to like be put in a ponytail. They put my hair in like a little tiny ponytail on my baby photo. It says likely little baby hair. Dang.
They just got your hair all wrong.
All wrong. I have like a 0% chance of having red hair. Yeah, 1% chance. Oh my gosh. And it tells you your wake up time. I'm likely to wake up around 8:58 a.m. Like on a day that I'm doing nothing.
Huh.
Try 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I just don't know how they can like tell you that based off your DNA.
I don't either. I don't know.
Yeah. I put my DNA, like, they can give you your raw DNA too to put in this other program called Prometheus.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you if you have like any like crazy variants or something.
Yeah.
And I had a rare one that like 99% of people with it had blue eyes. That was cool. That's the only rare one I had. The other ones were like, you're gonna get cancer. Yeah, it's like sick. I love it.
My stepfather's side of the family, always thought they were Italian. Like they're Italian. They did it, and they were like 2% Italian, and like.
Oh my god! Really?
Majority Irish. So this whole time, they were like, we're Italian. We're an Italian family. We're Italian. Or we're Polish, because Hollis came from Halushka, something like that. Nah, they are Irish. And now they're like, well, I guess we're Irish. So.
Yeah, I'm 47.6% British and Irish. So it used to be higher. I don't know why it's gone down.
I mean, I hope I'm actually Italian. I mean, look at my last name. Like,
yeah.
Where did that come from?
D'Agostino.
D'Agostino, apostrophe and all.
I'm only 2.3% Italian, which is odd to me. I didn't even know I had any Italian in my family. That's crazy. And the rest of it's just like, you white.
I think D'Agostino is a pretty common name in Italy. Last name in Italy too.
My last name is just like a variant of a really popular one. Dorset's a place in England. Dorset's just like you spell it wrong.
Yeah, is that why people say Dorset? You think?
Dorset. Yeah,
often.
I thought that like when they immigrated, they like wrote it down on the paper wrong. Because if you say Dorset with like an English accent, you're like Dorset.
Yeah.
It sounds like Dosset to somebody else, and that was a bad accent, and I'm sorry.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I can't do accents. Well, I can, and I like doing it, but I do them badly.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Ooh, that ended quickly.
Yeah.
I love talking.
Yeah.
But have you ever thought about doing one?
Yeah. But I'm kind of like, do I want to spend money to be told I'm white and Italian? I don't know. What I'm interested in is like they look at like your chances for like cancer.
Yeah,
and
you have to pay extra for
Alzheimer's and
that.
Stuff. That is what I would be like the most interested in. Or, you know, like honestly, I am 99% positive that my great-great-grandfather came here from Italy. So my mom's side would be more interesting because she always says I'm a mutt. She's like kind of everything. I think she's mostly Irish. Her maiden name is Ryerson. So
I mean, that sounds pretty Irish to me.
Yeah, and she has hazel eyes, and my grandfather looks a bit more Irish, but like she just kind of looks like a white person. So she's Irish and Italian looking, and just, you know, she has like naturally tanner skin. Like I'm really pale for like what my natural.
You're like olive toned.
Yeah, I'm not like porcelain, and I tan very, very easy. I don't burn. Like it takes a lot for me to burn.
I have like ginger skin. Like I'm really red toned and I'm very pale.
Yeah.
But I have like dark brown hair.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And my boyfriend Tom, he is German, like very German. He looks like a German boy. Like I don't know. Like he's obviously a white boy, but
white boy.
I mean, he's just
from Ohio.
Yeah, I know. Like his ancestry would be like, you're white. You know, but
Well,
he has a similar thing. He's like, he has freckles, but they're like not very dark. They're like reddish kind of colored. And he burns.
oh, I burn bad.
Yeah, he's like, I don't tan, I literally burn. I fry. I'm a frying pan.
See, I tan at first. I tan very easily. But if I'm outside for like more than an hour, then I start to burn.
Yeah.
But I'll tan fast.
When I was a kid, I would literally turn orange. I wish I had the picture. Any like baby picture of me, like where I was a toddler or like a child outside a lot, I'm orange. I'm actually orange, and it's embarrassing. I have these like baby photos where I look back and I'm like orange, Mom, and she's like, you just tanned really well. I'm like, I am actually, like, I cannot say it enough, like, I am orange. It's not God. Like I'm like natural Snooki. Like, I was that orange as a child. And it was alarming to look at as an adult.
Alarming.
It is alarming.
There's this one photo of me from daycare. My mom, she cut all my hair off at my ears. So it was like blunt. And I have really thick hair. So it like went out halfway to my head. Very thick. And then she gave me blunt bangs. Oh, and I was wearing a pink t-shirt. And I looked like Dora the Explorer. I was very tan. And I just looked like Dora.
Oh.
Imagine being me.
And I loved Dora.
I did too.
Man.
I liked Bob the Builder too. Oh yeah. Icons. Truly icons.
Yes. Do you remember, is it Winx?
Winx Club?
With the fairies?
Yeah, I didn't watch that though.
Oh my god, the redhead, I wanted to be her. And now I'm a soon-to-be 21-year-old adult who still likes Monster High dolls and thinks that they're the coolest things ever.
Low-key love them. I like watching the repaint videos.
Yes!
Oh, they're so good.
And I still want to be Jade from the Bratz.
Damn.
Like,
Me
still
too.
an icon. Like, Jade is iconic.
Oh my god. I do remember the redheaded fairy, though, because I, like, love red hair.
Yeah, and she had, like, I'm pretty sure she had, like, green eyes and,
yeah,
like, the red hair. And
it was
so
like, long
blue.
and, like, wavy, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, like, that, she was, like, one of the characters that I truly fantasized of being. Like, I was like, I want to be you. Because, like, I loved the Powerpuff Girls, and I, like, just loved them, but as soon as Winx came along and Bratz, I was like, I want to be Jade, and I want to be this fairy from Winx. And then, do you remember Total Spy or Total something Spy? There's these 3 female spies. There was like a pink one.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I didn't watch it because I've seen that GIF like on Tumblr where like it's like physics. They like put a laser between 2 mirrors and like it just keeps going and then they point it at something else and they're like, damn, that's how science works. That's hard to explain, but it's really funny.
Oh, I loved that too. Man, yeah.
This is like our you remember this episode all over again. The
one
we privated.
Yes, whenever I'm sad, I just go back to thinking about all of those things. And whenever I color my hair, I just try to look more and more like a Monster High doll. Like, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yes, like,
I would love to look like a Monster High doll.
I know. They're like, I wish that they were popular when Bratz were popular because I would have been all over that. Like, spooky, cute. Oh my god, like everything. Yeah. God, and like Jade was like kind of like the edgier one with the black hair and the bangs and the like the pigtails. Oh.
Low key, I would love to be like just like a badass goth bitch.
Exactly. I'm working on that on a daily basis.
That's like who I want to be, but sometimes I want to wear colors.
Yeah, like that's just like your one mood, and then you have your colorful mood. You know.
I want to have options.
Yeah, instead of being a sad bitch, be a goth bitch.
Yeah, badass goth bitch.
Yes, love that.
Sometimes I just wear all black because I want to.
If it makes you feel powerful.
I love it because it's just so nice to wear all black. It makes me feel happy, oddly enough.
You just feel like,
damn, I'm wearing all black.
Yeah, yes.
I love it.
Oh my god. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, is there any like? Oh, I was thinking about adding this segment. Are there any songs that like you're playing like on repeat right now?
Oh my god. Oh, yes. Lately I've been listening to the song Told You So by Paramore a lot. And Where's my phone? Because, like, as soon as you think
Yeah.
about it, you're like, it's gone. Everything that I listened to today is just completely and utterly gone.
Well, today it was "Hole in the Wall" by Moses Gun Collective. And "Archie" by Always. Yeah, "Archie Marry Me" is what it's called. But before that, "Stay Away from My Baby" by Bane's World and "Cry for Me" by Honey. I love Honey. They're a really great band. Hunny. If anyone wants to look that up. Any of like the two people that will watch this.
I've also been listening to "Dark Pools" by Circus Survive a lot. I have a very wide range of music I listen to, and I'm still listen to all the same stuff I listened to when I was an emo in high school.
Yeah,
so I am still an emo at heart, just now trying to be more goth aesthetic.
Yes. There's a song called "Toy Guns" by Tokyo Police Club that I think you would really like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've
really
heard
good.
of Tokyo Police Club.
They're good.
I don't know if anybody cares, but the 1975's new album is coming out the 30th, so that's exciting. You May at 6 just came out with a new album. Hopefully Circus Survive is coming out with a new album soon. Yeah.
I just like listen to stuff I like on Spotify.
If you're ever sad, but like want music that is kind of sad, but like fits and makes you feel better because it's also sad, listen to "Catch" by The Cure. Catch. I actually have the word "catch" tattooed on my leg because of that song.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. There are lyrics in it that it's like one of the songs that just make me think of home, which I don't know how else to describe it. It just makes me think of home. And I thought it was funny because I had knee surgery, so I have "catch" on my shitty knees. So, catch these knees.
Catch these knees.
Yes, and I was contemplating like where I wanted to get it, and I was like, because I want leg tattoos, I was like, why don't I just get it there? And like, it's kind of like I did it. I survived both my knee surgeries. Woo! And my boyfriend Tom was like, if anybody questions you, just say you want to catch these knees. Then I was like, wow, I am so intimidating with my old lady knees. But yes, I recommend that song highly. It's a very good song. The Cure in general, very good, wonderful stuff.
I've been getting into like electropop. Like there's this guy named Gus Dapperton. Like his songs are lit. Yeah. I love them. They're like lo-fi kind of, but pop.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And usually I don't like pop because I'm an indie rock bitch.
Have you ever heard of Wild Beasts? I think you might like them. I don't know because I don't because like with that genre of music.
It's very wide.
It is, and there's like different intensities. They're definitely like indie alternative. I'd say more alternative because they're not heavy, but they're not like light acoustic indie. Yeah. If you know what I mean. But I recommend listening to the song "Devil's Crayon." It's very, very good. Or "Two Dancers" if you want to cry.
Have you heard of Bad Sons? I love that band. They're so good. I love them so much.
Manchester Orchestra.
Joy Again.
Listen to them.
Joy Again is one of my favorite bands. They're very.
Do you use Apple Music or Spotify?
Spotify.
I was gonna say we should make each other playlists.
Make me a playlist.
Emarosa, which is surprising because they used to be like super heavy and I wasn't really into them that much, but they just came out with a song called "Given Up" on their new album coming out called Peach Club, and it is like a wonderful poppy anthem with like instruments, and I don't know how to explain it, but like you want to listen to it walk down the street, and it's called "Given Up." You can kind of imagine like it's like, is this worth giving up? I don't know, let's just give it up, like
let's give it up. I really tried to get into metal a couple of weeks ago, but I couldn't do it because I don't like the way that like they scream or like sing. I don't like that style of like singing.
I don't know if did I tell you that I had a Marilyn Manson phase when I was
No, you did not.
Did I tell you I met him twice?
No. Please tell me about it. Please tell me.
I can actually show you. Oh boy, let's get embarrassed right now. So when I was in high school, it was kind of around the time where, what was popular? Who was popular?
I had like a scene phase in middle school, but that was it.
It was like during that time, like when scene was a thing.
I just remembered the band that I liked back then. They're the ones that did the Candyland song. You know what I'm talking about? One of them was a pedophile.
Blood on the Dance Floor?
Yes! Blood on the Dance Floor!
Oh,
I used to like Blood on the Dance Floor!
No. No.
I don't anymore, and like literally want to kill myself thinking about it.
All of us have secretly listened to one of their songs. You are not alone. But yeah, like, gross.
Yeah. I love how you knew what I was talking about when I said one of them.
Yeah, because I was one of those losers at one point too.
Yeah.
Not loser, I'm sorry. I was one of those unfortunate souls who thought that it was cool at the time because they like wore makeup and wore weird contacts and had like the hair that the iconic hair. I should show you some some pictures from I had pink bangs at one time. I had red hair. I had black hair when I destroyed my hair.
I mean, I've had purple and pink hair, and it didn't look that great. The purple looked better, but yeah.
So, if you want to get into metal, I recommend listening to him. He has a very much a reputation, but he actually sings about some serious stuff. And I read his book because I was a diehard, and he signed it when I met him the second time.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
He was also so nice, like incredibly nice.
I feel like he would be really nice.
And man, he's gone through some stuff.
I don't really know much about him.
This is what I remember from his book. His parents like loved him a lot, which is really nice. But they put him in a religious school versus public school because they wanted him to have a better education. But it was a very, very, very extreme Christian. Like they would hit them and tell them that
like Catholic school.
Like even more intense. I'm forgetting the branch of Christianity. It's not Catholic. It's like
Latter-day Saints.
Something like that.
I don't know.
And he, like, in it, in the book, he talks about this one teacher in particular that, like, looked at him, because he asked a question, and was like, the Antichrist is going to come and eat your parents' heads off, and, like,
God, I hope so.
Really, really, like, super intense, and that, like, really fueled his inspiration to talk about a lot of the stuff that he talks about. He was also a writer before he was a musician. He would write like short stories and horror stories and stuff. And he has experienced a lot of very weird things as a child, and I think that kind of influenced him as he got older. And his music, if you get past like the like visuals,
the facade,
you like it's actually really, really good and deep.
I will listen to them.
Like the Nobodies, which is like super popular of his, is about school shooting, Columbine, because he was actually accused. Like they did it because they listened to Marilyn Manson. Oh yeah. And actually, he has this like famous interview where they were like, "What would you say to the shooters?" And he was like, "I wouldn't say anything. I'd listen because that's probably what nobody else did." Damn. And I was like, oh my God, like everyone, because like he actually came back with a response that was like not, aggressive, because he was being like bashed on the news, and he was like, what? Like, yeah,
it's like video games cause like people to be violent. That's obviously not true.
So he wrote the song like Nobody's based on like complete outcasts, because he was one when he got in high school, and it was a different time. Like he's an older man now, so he's a really interesting guy, and he's also an artist. He paints. We actually, when we met him, we got one of his, is it lithographs?
Yeah, lithograph.
Of one of his watercolor paintings.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you want to get into metal, I recommend him.
Okay. I will definitely listen to him. Thank you, anybody who's watched this long.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This was Worry Wart.